We went shopping at Whole Foods and we spent $750 on makeup. It's clean makeup, clean beauty, and I hope it matches the price point, the quality, the application, wear time. Let's do it because we have a lot of products to test out. We're gonna start off with the eyes, and they do have a smoothing eye primer. This is all by the brand Mineral Fusion, and this retails for $17.50. It just says smooth onto eyelids and under eyes prior to makeup application. Ooh, it's very liquidy. Wow, I've never used a primer like this. It's kind of like a serum. It did kind of smooth out my eyelids, but it didn't cancel anything out. So it's literally just a primer. This is what we have for eyeshadow. The tiniest little trio you could possibly find. And this retails for $28.99. And this is Espresso Gold. I'm gonna take their eye base brush and the lightest shade in the palette. Just gonna sweep this onto my lids. Ooh, that primer is not good. It's like dry in my crease already. And this brush just feels pretty stiff. It's not really soft. So I honestly wouldn't recommend this brush. It's pretty stiff and kind of scratchy actually. I'm gonna take their camouflage brush. And it's more of like for concealer, but I feel like it's gonna apply this product pretty nice. Oh, that's pretty. Just a very soft wash of like a nice rose, pale rose gold on the eyelids. Yeah, like very soft, very minimal. I'm not understanding why this is $28, actually $29. Barely any color payoff. Let's try it with my fingers. It's going all over my face. It's better with your fingers, but it's not. Like it's just, I'm not liking this palette at all. This price is really getting me upset. This is not worth $29. For eyeliner, this is their eye pencil in shade Coal. I'm going to line ever so slightly my upper lash line just to maybe extend the wing and kind of just make it a little bit sharper in the inner corner. And this eye pencil retails for $17.99. Let's see how creamy this is. That's a disappointment. Very stiff, not super opaque. For a kohl, I expect it to be very kohl-like, very creamy, very opaque, very intense, and this is not it. And I'm gonna take their eyeliner slash brow brush and take the darkest shade and kind of stamp it maybe to create a little bit more pigment and kind of ever so slightly blend it out, just a little bit. Nothing too crazy. This is as good as we're going to get with the eyeliner and eyeshadow. And there's so much glitter on my face from that second eyeshadow. It has a ton of fallout. For mascara, I have their volumizing mascara, and this is one of their better rated ones. I have a shade Jet, and this is their fullest, lushest look. It gives you an all-natural wow factor you crave. Kiss flaking, caking, and smudging goodbye. You get a really big, just boar bristled wand, really tightly packed, really dense. Hoping I won't get my eyelids too dirty. Okay, so far it's kind of a drier formula, which you guys know I like. It looks somewhat black, but it's not depositing that much mascara to my lashes right away. And it doesn't look like it's clumping the lashes together. Okay, so mascara, it's not bad, but for the price of, what was it, $19.99, I prefer the CoverGirl Clean Mascara, the new one that they launched recently. But I do like that my lashes, they look really wispy and they look pretty black. I wish they were a little more black. I already did 2 coats and it just looks like I did 1 coat. So it's not really layering the mascara as well as I would want it to, but it's not clumping, so that's really good. It's more of a very wispy, very natural looking lash, and I'm okay with that. Okay, let's move on to the face. And I do have their liquid foundation to test out. At my local Whole Foods, they did not have a face primer, so we're gonna go straight in for the foundation. This is their liquid foundation, and this retails for $32.99. This is their 24/7 skin filter. I woke up like this thanks to this Luxe matte coverage that won't streak, crease, or look anything but flawless. I think that's really awesome. They are saying to smooth onto skin using fingertips, but then you can also use a brush for another application. We'll see. Let's open this up. Oh, yeah. Okay, no pump. Wow, this is thick. Honey, you thick. Wow. We'll just use whatever we need to use. All right, so just from touching it, it's very thick, but it also feels very mousse-like and very creamy in texture, which is really nice. I'll just use my fingertips to just apply this on. Oh, looks like it oxidized right away. Look at that. Okay. Hey there. Wow. Okay, so it looks like it's blending in quite quick, even with my fingers. And it looks like it's given like a really nice soft matte finish, and it definitely oxidized right away with the warmth of my skin. Wow, that feels very light on my face. It doesn't feel like anything. First product I'm actually impressed with. This is the most expensive product so far. It's kind of interesting how it just oxidizes on your skin right away, like warms up, blends in really nicely with the skin. It becomes kind of like your perfect shade. It's doing something weird right here. Looks like my skin is reacting. Do you see that little patch? Yeah. It's not burning, it's not itching, it just, you can see it reacting. I'm gonna take my brush, my Bobbi Brown, just gonna work it into the brush and just very gently stipple onto my cheeks. I would say this is definitely a medium to full coverage foundation, depending on obviously how much foundation you use, because there's no control with this packaging. Wow, I just really like the way it blends so easily. And I am using most of the foundation so you can see what kind of coverage we got with the amount of product that I took out. It's quite pretty on the skin. Wow. It's not really exaggerating any dry spots. It's not really exaggerating any pores. That was unexpected. For concealer, this is their liquid concealer, and I have shade Neutral. They didn't have the lightest shade in the store, but they do have a shade Cool, which I should have chose. And this retails for $25.99. This is the next best thing to a full night's rest, like an instant ray of sunshine for your face. So it says it illuminates with light reflecting minerals while covering up hyperpigmentation. So that sounds really intriguing. We'll get a nice little doe foot applicator. Ooh. I know what this reminds me of right away. Kier Weiss, and I disliked her concealer so much. It was so uncomfortable to use. This is so thick, it feels like you're drawing with chalk. It's so uncomfortable to draw with, to use. I'm just gonna use a little bit of, what is this, warm, and blend this in. It's like no coverage. It brightened it, but barely any coverage. It does actually feel quite nice and soft on the skin. Okay, that actually looks quite nice, but I am going to set my face using their pressed powder foundation in Cool One. They didn't have like a loose translucent powder, but I figured this one might look actually really nice on top, and this one was rated really, really good. So this right here retails for $32.99. Finally, a powder foundation that will settle into fine lines, and it's triple milled for a smooth as can be finish that airbrushes pores. Buildable coverage, which means total flexibility. Go for a light dusting or layer on a coverage while staying shine free and photo ready. Their descriptions are on point. I'm just gonna do, like they said, a light dusting, just for a little more coverage to set that concealer. It's very soft, that's all you gotta say. I think it blurred my pores a tiny bit, but nothing where it's very instantaneous and you can see it right away. For eyebrow pencil, this is their retractable brown pencil, and I picked up shade medium brown, and this retails for $19.99, and they have two other shades. They have blonde and dark brown. So on one side you have a tiny little spoolie. It's definitely more of a micro tip eyebrow pencil, which I'm very excited about. It's definitely more of a creamy, but has a nice stiff formula, and the pencil tip is not just melting on the brows. I feel like it's pulling a little bit warmer than my natural brow hairs, but the color is quite nice actually. I really like it. Looks like it blends pretty easy as well. Since they didn't have a brow gel, I'm just gonna use my Benefit 24-hour brow gel in clear. For bronzer, I picked up their little compact. This is retailing for $32.99. So let's go in with this right here, this one, and hopefully that's gonna give a beautiful wash of color and bronze up my face. Okay, it looks like it's blending in quite nicely. Looks like it's pulling a little bit more red, but I do like how it's blending. I'm just not sure if I like this tone for my skin tone. I feel like it does have a little bit of shimmer in this bronzer as well, like very light gold shimmer, because it doesn't look matte on my skin. There's a little bit of a glow from it. For the price, I'm expecting a lot more, and it's not delivering. For blush, I have 2 shades, $26.99. I have shade Creation and then Pale. Pale is, they're saying, a shimmering peach, and Creation is a matte rose. Super, super tiny amount of blush for $27. It's a really pretty nude blush. It's not too peachy, it's not too pink. It's like right in between. That's really pretty. It looks like it's blending in really nicely. Oh, I actually really like that blush. And it gives ever so slightly a soft shimmer, because it does have the tiniest amount of shimmer in the blush. It doesn't look like it, but that's a good thing, because it just looks like it's just illuminating on your cheeks. Wow, that's actually really, really pretty. I still don't like how tiny it is. I wish it was bigger, but that is stunning. For a lip liner, I have their lip pencil in shade Graceful. They're saying it's a dusty pink, and this retails for $18.99. It adds more definition, more color, more lip fullness where you want fullness, all in a creamy, rich formula that glides with precision. And it's just a nice regular lip pencil that you do have to sharpen. That is creamy and pigmented. This is not such a creamy melting type of formula. It's really creamy still, but stiff enough where you can be really precise. For lipstick, I have their just a lipstick, $18.99 in shade Nude, and it's a nude mauve. And this is their smudge-free color without toxic ingredients. It's a vivid, it's a rich base of shea butter and jojoba seed oil that hydrates and conditions your lips, all while giving you unforgettably vivid color. Wow, that's a very comfortable formula. That feels really nice on the lips. Now that we have the full face on, I actually really like how it came together. I look very healthy, I look very glowy. I think it just looks really pretty, especially for spring and summertime. So 3 products really stand out to me: foundation, blush, and the lipstick. Something with these formulas, it was really easy to work with. I think they delivered exactly what I was reading, but even more than I was expecting. I wasn't expecting much with this foundation just because it's so thick in texture. It just did something magical. It was so creamy, so blendable, but yet so skin-like, and I really like the finish of this foundation. I think it's stunning. It is looking a little bit heavy right here, but I did apply a little bit more foundation with the brush just to see how buildable it really is and how much pigment or coverage I can get out before I look really cakey and heavy. But as of right now, it actually feels really good on the face. The next blush, I didn't expect much from this blush whatsoever. This blush is stunning. The price is still throwing me off and how tiny it is for that price. Like, this right here is a typical blush size. You get 0.10 ounces in here, and then in this one, you get 0.31 ounces. You get way more blush from this L'Oreal versus the Mineral Fusion. And I think this one performs very similar, if not almost the same as this blush right here. But just that shimmer in here, you can't even see it sitting on your skin. It just kind of melts and it gives like that beautiful glow from within type of a highlight in this blush. And that's why I think this is a beautiful formula, especially this shade right here, Pale. And then the lipstick right here, $18.99. This color I think is really stunning, but it's not even the color. It's the formula and the way it just glides on your lips, and it just kind of smooths your lips, and it's not accentuating the lines in my lips. And this is such a beautiful formula. I don't think it's gonna be long wearing, but you never know. Everything else that I tried, it was good, it wasn't really surprising, it wasn't really even that different. But I think my least favorite product would have to be the eyeshadow and the eyeliner pencil. Very little payoff, not super blendable, but I'll see you guys with the next couple of updates. First update, and I think we're doing pretty good with the makeup. I'm looking a little bit extra dewy, but I think it looks really good with like the cheeks being dewy. I think just everything meshes well together. The one thing I do want to say is I'm feeling it on my face. It's kind of remind me of the sensation of when I tested out the Bare Minerals versus the Tarte Mineral Loose Powder foundations. It kind of has that like same feeling, even the way I'm touching my skin. It just has that kind of like a little bit sticky sensation. But we had like a really early dinner snack, and I can still see a lot of the lip liner on my lips, but the mascara has been running quite a bit. Like I've been kind of dabbing underneath my eyes. You can still see a little bit of shadow happening. I'm not really liking the way it's kind of exaggerating a lot of my texture on my face, like the foundation. It's starting to look a little heavy. Let's start with the complexion. So obviously you can see that it's quite shiny on the forehead. A lot of it has disappeared around the mouth and the nose. So the cheeks still look really good. The foundation looks good, but when I did that first check-in, I said I felt the foundation felt kind of sticky. I'm not feeling that anymore, but I feel like I lost quite a bit of pigment from my face, like right here in the center. So longevity is not that long wearing. I've had it on for like 10 hours. So we're not doing so bad. Surprisingly, the brows still look really great. I think the color's still really nice, and I was kind of impressed with how the brows were looking in the entire day. Moving on to eyeshadow and eyeliner. Most of the eyeliner is still there, but when I close my eyes, especially right here, a lot of that pigment has kind of just disappeared. And then you can see from the mascara, it keeps smearing and it keeps smudging and flaking. There's a little bit of flaking happening right here, but like I was saying with the update, I was just kind of patting it in. It's just this mascara and this eyeliner just doesn't vibe together. And then this concealer, it looks really dry in the inner corner right here, and I think because because the finish is more illuminating concealer, even setting it with the powder foundation, it just did not want to set, and it just kept kind of just moving around, and that's why I feel like a lot of that concealer is gone, or it just looks really creased. The next thing with the powder foundation, I feel like where I did apply most of that powder foundation, which was right here under the eyes, it looks heavier, and I feel like my pores are more exaggerated, which is interesting because it said that this powder foundation is going to blur the pores. So I don't think it did that personally. The lips, it's not there anymore. But the thing is, I didn't reapply the lip liner and I didn't reapply the lipstick. I did have dinner, and after dinner, I felt like everything was gone. So not long wearing, very comfortable. My lips feel still nice and soft. They're not super dry. So that's a good thing. I am very conflicted on this makeup line just because they are free of a lot of things, but then their packaging, their performance, it's very average. Some of the products are well below average, and like I said, only 3 products jumped at me: the foundation, the blush, and the lipstick. Everything else was either it was good, but it was not great for the price, and I felt like I could find better products at the drugstore. Similar enough ingredients. Yes, they might have a little bit more synthetic stuff, but yeah, I felt like I was gonna be wowed more, especially for the price. I was really expecting something more, something better on the face, and yeah, I'm just not really impressed so far with this makeup line. I'm gonna leave it here. I still really enjoyed the foundation. I think it's definitely good for 8 hours max. I think the blush is really beautiful. It's so expensive for the amount, but it is a very beautiful blush, and I'm definitely still going to be using it. And that lipstick is really beautiful. I do want to pick up some more shades and see if I'm going to enjoy the other shades as well. Please let me know some of your favorite products by Mineral Fusion. But for now, thank you so much for watching, spending time with me, and I'll see the next one very soon. Bye.